Don't miss your water. Yeah, you're well. How's my hair?
It's good.
Hold on a second. Hello. Please call back in 2 minutes. Thank you. Bye. Howdy, howdy, howdy. My name is Mike Breeden, Channel 18, Upstream TV. Seated next to who?
Christian Carpenter.
Christian Carpenter. This is a show that we do at random. It's called What's Your Story? And it's a show where we ask a very pertinent and deep and meaningful question. Can I ask you a question?
You may.
What's your story?
Like I said, my name's Christian Carpenter, but I perform under the name CJ Street currently. I do electronic music, kind of mixed between ambient and electric house and dubstep, just kind of a mix of things. And just kind of been doing that for the last couple months live at open mics and just pinning stuff online.
Excellent, excellent. Where were you born?
I was actually born in Baudette on the border, kind of Minnesota's hat, and then I lived here in Bemidji until I was 7, and then I've been in the Mankato area until about 2 years ago, and I moved back up here.
And you moved back up here for the heck of it?
Yeah, kind of just wanted to change. I have family up here. My parents retired up here. My brother lives in Baxter, and he just had a kid at the time, and I wanted to be closer to them. And
beauty. How many people are in the family then?
just the one brother. So
older brother.
yes, he's about 3 years older.
How's the relationship?
Very good, actually. We get along extremely well.
I love when that happens. So the music. How did you first start dabbling in synthesized digital music?
I kind of started a long while back, kind of in high school, probably around like 14 to 18. I kind of played around with it and just kind of learned the real basics of it. And then I played a little bit of guitar at the time, and I think that kind of influenced my guitar playing, where I've always had kind of I kind of just like, just
going
playing the guitar and just
going off the rhythm of it all.
Right, and just I like always kind of see the guitar just not as something just play songs. If I just like playing just fun tunes and making cool noises and that kind of stuff. And then just less than a year ago, I got an iPad and I was just saw some sales on some electronic music stuff, and I tried some of the apps, and a couple of them like really just clicked with me and kind of brought back what I used to do. And
before we go into that, we'll open up the phone lines now. This is a call-in show. If you'd like to chat about anything, give us a call at 333-0733. We'll remind you, though, if you start cursing or anything like that, we're just going to hang up, so it's rather pointless. So you found some apps that were interesting. They were allowing you to build upon loops, or what was the story with them?
I started mostly with either just kind of like synthesizer stuff, and I don't really know piano that well. But I really got into the first one. I really got into was one called iChaos Later, which is like the chord chaos pads. If anyone's ever seen those, where it's just basically you touch a pad and it is kind of like you build loops that way, not like just clicking on stuff or using synthesizers. So it's real touch based, and then there's like 5 or 6 streams at once that go, and so you kind of build off of that, and then you can, by switching the tempo and the keys it's in, you can really make a lot of different sounds. And so that was the one I started with, especially doing live. I like that because things were kept a live feel to it, where it wasn't with digital music you can go way too far, especially live, where you're basically you might as well just bring your iPod up there, whatever, and hit play.
Yeah, right.
So,
what is the best part about doing it? I mean, when you're in front of a group, and I've seen you perform before, and it's lovely. Do you feel just pleasant about bringing good noises to good people's ears, or what is the best part about it for you?
Yeah, I would say that it's it's nice when instead of it's exciting every I do Bridget's open mic every week, pretty much.
And what night is that?
It's Thursday nights, about 8 to closing, whenever.
When do you usually end up playing?
I used to do around 10, and lately I've been doing around like 8:30. So it kind of depends on what my schedule is.
Excellent. So anytime, 8 to 10 basically, you're in
Yeah,
there.
somewhere in there. But yeah, it's because if you sign up at 10 though, it's you know you never know when you're gonna go.
Right.
And especially since between 8 and 10, I think everyone under the age of 21 has to go. So
Uh,
so it really depends on how many younger people show up because they have to get in there and go first.
right. So, but when you're up there, I mean, it's
Yep.
feeling pretty darn good.
Yeah, and especially like building up to it's always great because you're not just making something and even if you throw it at the internet and you get plays and comments, it's not the same as you're like, oh, whenever something really cool is being built, you'd be like, oh, this is gonna be really awesome when I go out and play it, and that this is gonna be something that hopefully people enjoy, and especially at like the Bridges open mic that I really enjoy, and the people that run it, it seems like a lot of people enjoy that it's kind of something a little different where it's not the same thing where there's a ton of great people that play, but it does kind of break it up, and it's not the same
Yeah.
acoustic singer songwriter a lot of the stuff is. And
Yeah, when I've been there, that's something that I love about it, is it really is just totally different than the rest. So, music in general to you, I mean, did you end up at a younger age having an appreciation for music via some sort of interaction with an instrument or anything like that, or how did you come about an appreciation for music?
I guess I've always was just always interested in learning new things and finding out new stuff. So I'd always trying to talk to people, find new bands and different types of music. I tried not to shoehorn my art, but didn't try to pigeonhole myself into one.
Orange and pigeonholes, man. No, but that almost
Into one
plays.
thing. So yeah, so I mean, I listened to everything from like real experimental electronic music to death metal to alternative. I always really liked my favorites were always kind of in that Smashing Pumpkins, Weezer vein, but the alternative music and kind of Seattle sound, Chicago sound. But yeah, I always tried to listen to like a real mix of stuff.
So you are pretty eclectic when it comes to music. Is there anything? Oh yeah, put a cork in it, hun. I'm talking business here. Hold on one second. Howdy, caller. Welcome to What's Your Story? We'll remind you to turn your set down. Who are we talking to?
Roxy.
Roxy, do you have anything to add?
What was that?
Do you have anything to say or ask?
I'm your biggest fan. Oh my god.
Your biggest fan, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just because of the music or just because of his good hair?
I love the hair. I mean, it's a little bit of both, honestly.
Do you have any questions for the main man?
What is your biggest draw when you go to create?
Beauty.
As in like what draws me to making the music or the type I make?
Yeah. Are you asking what makes him want to create music?
I suppose just what is the driving factor behind it?
Okay. I think for me, making music or any kind of art, it's always kind of a way of, expressing or in a way kind of like a therapy for emotions that, that aren't easily articulated through talking or, typing or language, that it's a language of its own, and I think you can express things and, share feelings in a much more vivid way.
Excellent. Can you dig on that, Rox?
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
Thank you very much.
Any words for people out there before you sign off, my good friend?
Yeah. Can we buy t-shirts?
Can you buy T-shirts?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Where are you right now, and are you safe?
What was that?
My biggest fans are all mock-up.
Well, yeah. Actually, if you call after the show, or we'll call you back, we'll be able to connect you with the way to get T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Later, Roxy.
Yay.
Bye. Beauty.
But yeah, the way I kind of ended up doing, especially like, doing this like live stuff, not just having, be something I just did on my own, was actually I also have a real interest in photography, and I always try to go around and take pictures of the live bands and stuff, and especially like to do the open mic because people really appreciate that because there's a lot of people that are starting out or they don't have the budget to hire a photographer or that kind of stuff, and they can really use photos for internet and publicity and that kind of stuff. And
Excellent.
I got to know some people pretty well, and one night I'd been working on electronic music for the couple weeks, and one night they didn't have rarely a sign up at the end of the night, so I just decided that just go up there and do it, and I think that was kind of the perfect thing where it was like, even though there's only a couple people there, but it's like, and they're all like leaving, it's like, it was kind of the perfect just introduction to it, because it's like, you gotta get up there and just do it, and if people are getting up and leaving, you just assume that they're just, because it's the end of the night.
Excellent. Yeah, exactly. We're going to talk for about 5 more minutes. If you want to join the conversation, it's 218-333-0733. Now, to that vein, open mic is a pretty great thing to be able to have people comfortably introduced to the stage. Mm-hmm. And for you with this thing, had you done anything with it live like that before, or was it the first?
No, that was my very first time doing anything that.
Have you gotten feedback that it's appreciable, or?
Yeah, especially from like I said, like the people running it, I always have been really appreciative. They always try and get me on there and do my thing, because it kind of breaks it up and they really like that. I've gotten just randomly feedback when people come up to me and talk to me about it, or if I introduce myself to be like, oh, you're the guy that does the iPad music, electronic music, and it's always great. But I guess the only feedback is I get because it's just kind of their setup is set up kind of still for that like acoustic kind of coffee shop or bar vibe that a lot of people are like, oh, I really would like to see you someplace with lights and some bass and stuff, because sometimes a lot of times my music.
Well, you mean it'll be thumping?
Because a lot of times it'll just distort the speakers instead.
So, let's talk about that. What's in the future? What are you thinking about doing? Possibly some scheming with applying the sound maybe to some lights and maybe.
Yeah, I guess I'm open. I'd like to work on it a little bit more, but I'm definitely open. And if some bars or whatever, or dance place or any parties or whatever would want to do something, I'd be totally open to doing it. And I'd like to. Been trying to work on doing some connections and maybe doing some collaboration. Some people get some live instruments in there and that kind of stuff.
Let's talk for a second about the photography. What is it about photography that draws you to it?
I guess
Once again, communication, is that what it is?
Yeah, I guess it just everything kind of just interconnects with me. That it's just like I feel like I always, like I said, I'm always trying to learn new things and always trying to be challenged. And I think like between things, I think everything, when you get involved in a bunch of different things, everything comes together. Like if you're drawing and doing photography, you can pick up composition from one and apply it to the other, or to the music, you just everything, and it kind of really does like open up your mind. Like with the photography, it's like it's almost hard to explain, but from doing photography for a while, you have to spend so much time looking at light and color. I find that it's like I appreciate lights and colors, and like when the sun's coming up and going down, you have like that perfect light. I don't think I would have appreciated it as much before that. You kind of, it's just kind of, it gives you different ways of viewing things.
I love it. I love it. So, you can be usually caught Thursday nights, sometime after 8.
Yeah, usually between 8:30 and 11, sometime in that range is when I'll end up going on.
Excellent. Well, we're about to close it down. I'll just quickly say this has been Channel 18 Upstream TV program called What's Your Story? And if you would, close it out. Give us some final comments, some things that you think, maybe even words of encouragement for people to try getting out and exposing some of their art to the rest of the world.
I think the big thing is kind of like I said, that I've talked to people that they're open mic and I know they're good artists, but they'll be too scared to go on there. And I always say, do what I did and just kind of get that last slot or whatever, kind of come on late when it's kind of dying down, and just get up there and kind of have that punk rock attitude where it's like it's as long as I'm enjoying it, it's what I want to do. That it doesn't matter if it ends up coming bad at first. You got to do it, and that's the way you're going to improve.
Excellent. Would you ever be willing to come down in front of the camera, perform for a little bit?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Excellent. Well, we'll have to talk about what time that'll be, and we'll put it on the UTV circuit.
I guess I should probably create an artist page on Facebook or whatever, but right now, I think you could find some stuff I try to put up something every week, either something recorded from the open mic or preparing for it on SoundCloud. I believe it's under CJ Street, so the letter CJSTREET. Otherwise, you could look at my Facebook, which is under Christian Street Carpenter.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for talking with us, brother.
Thank you for doing the interview.
Yeah. Hey! I love this stuff.